I'm at in Thorndale, Pennsylvania, and I'm at the Acme. I'm sitting out in the parking lot in the Acme uh, grocery store where there's a Citizens Bank. That's where I have to go for my early Social Security transfer. Uh, anyways, apparently my father forgot to make a transfer. I was waiting for him to make the transfer from Massachusetts down to where I am. Anyways, so while I was out there, I was watching the Bernie Sanders channel on YouTube, and he was reporting about a drug that was costing $0 for a rare muscular disease, and a another pharmaceutical company called Catalyst had decided that they were going to co-opt that and basically uh, get the market on this drug, and they did that, and then they made it so that people that had been getting the drug for free were now looking at a price tag of $375,000 a year for this particular drug, which had cost them zero. So, and there's been other stories about generic drug manufacturers colluding together to massively uh, increase prices on generic drugs, as well as cornering. This company takes this company takes that. So, and then there's a story about heavy metals, including arsenic in fruit juices, from Walmart to Whole Foods, Welch's, and so on and so forth. So, anyways, I was trying to inform people while I was sitting out there in the parking lot about what's going on, and I had only talked to a couple of people, but one white woman decided I was suspicious for trying to inform her of the crimes being committed against her and her family, because she had three young children, and I was wanted to uh, tell her about it and inform her to keep track of this sort of stuff. And so I was trying to be an activist and trying to share what I had learned, and she decided that she didn't like that, and she ended up calling Acme, and Acme sent out three of its manager staff, Acme grocery stores, and they were walking around and looking over at me. And rather than coming up to me and asking me what's the deal, what happened, they ended up walking back in and apparently called the police, or had called the police already. And the Thorndale police came over and started asking me questions. I explained the situation to them. Um, the police did not arrest me. They did take down my information, but they sent two cruisers over. At least the cop, uh, got my story. But the fact that that they called the police on me without even getting any information as to why this woman had called, and I can only assume a couple of things. Either she didn't like being informed about crimes being committed upon her and her family by by a pharmaceutical corporation, as well as other corporations, um, or she didn't like the fact that I'm Asian. Uh, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt and say she just found me annoying and called the police on me. Um, Whatever the case may be, that's a nuisance call, and she should be the one having the police come to her and say, "Hey, None of this bullshit. Don't be calling us about somebody trying to look out for your interests. Whatever the case may be, that was just ridiculous. And I moved down in Pennsylvania in 2010, and since 2 years since that orange-headed goofy Oompa Loompa got into office, and the Republican Party has decided that they're going to ramp up racism. I've been told by 5 different people to get the fuck out of the country, and I've been asked at a Dunkin' Donuts whether or not I'm legal by a white employee. Every one of them has been white. Now, I'm not saying this particular case may be race related, but whatever the reason being, that just the level of stupidity and complete and utter arrogance is ridiculous, and it's criminal. So, I wanted to share this. I honestly thought I was going to be arrested with all the rampant, rampant abuses being done by the so-called police. Fortunately, this police officer, well, he did get a little upset with me when I said, what crime I had committed, why was it, and he said, it was just got a call about somebody suspicious, and so I can't say that there was outright police abuse. I can say, however, that the police should have asked for contact. That the police should have uh, gotten the number to this woman and talked to her first, and find out what's going on before dealing with this. And they should have gone after the woman. But aside from all that, this is the level of anxiety that's hanging the because of all the negative things. And police are there to protect and serve, not to be mercenaries, um, not to be oppressors. So, um, I give some props to the Thorndale police for not following what seems to be a national trend here. But it's a rare case, um, and I can see that the officer, why he might have gotten a little upset with me, because there has been a lot of negativity against the police, but that's because the police are not acting the way they should be. So, and as I said, they should have done due diligence and found out what it was, and they should have gone after the woman. And as for that woman, I was looking after you and your children and your family. I wasn't I wasn't trying to murder you. I wasn't trying to steal from you. I was trying to inform you of the criminal actions being taken against you. And it's ridiculous that you called the police on me, and that's just an abuse. That's arrogant privilege. And it was a white woman, and the fact that I was trying to inform her, because I looked at her as a fellow American, as a fellow human being, for her to do what she did was um, criminal. And so let's start getting some sanity back here. I was trying to help. I was trying to look out for you, and it was ridiculous for you to call the police on me. It was criminal negligent for you to call the police on me.